I see people come to me when they are growing and they realise they need a bookkeeper rather than doing the books themselves, and they don't actually know what their numbers are.
We ask for payment up front with a discount, incentive to pay. Since we've done that, our debt has really reduced quite a lot.
You can probably survive your first couple of years maybe without making a profit if your cash flow is reasonable.
You don't think you need staff until the point after you actually needed that staff.
Yeah. Scaling a business is not necessarily that easy. If it were, we wouldn't have the vast majority of businesses remaining below 10 employees. However, there are some sound principles of successfully scaling a business, and the really good news is that those principles are intrinsically linked with building a valuable business. So that means that if we're building a scalable business, then we're also building a valuable business. If you'd like to understand more about those principles and access a range of resources to help you in your scale-up journey, then why not take a look at www.bizsmarts.co.uk. That's BizSmarts, BIZSMARTS. Obviously, eating out isn't something that any of us are doing very much of at the moment during the coronavirus lockdown, but this week's guest owns a restaurant that he says is all about the atmosphere, that it's like being on holiday, and that's what he's tried to create, but just for the duration of your meal. And he does all sorts of wonderful things to really make that experience, but of course he can't really do that at the minute with not being able to have people come into his restaurant. So in this episode of Scale Up Radio, I talk with Wasim Draoui from Waz's Bistro. Wasim has been a chef for many years, but he only opened the bistro in April of last year. And this is the first restaurant that we've had on the podcast, but the challenges faced and the lessons learned by Wasim are still relatable across many sectors and industries. And what I was particularly excited to talk about with Waz was how he is adapting and how he is pivoting his business to still be able to bring all of the wonderful things that he wants to be able to do for his customers still to their doorstep. And we talked about what separates Waz's Bistro from the competition and how they've reacted to the coronavirus crisis. And within that, we also covered how to help not just customers, but the whole community during a crisis. Waz is passionate about having friends. He talks about going from being customers to being friends to being part of a revolution almost, being members. We talk about the drive to lift people's spirits during these, what Wasim refers to as sad times. We talk about the way that they've given control back to their customers when it comes to one of the most important meals of the week. So Wasim is unlike so many of the other guests that we've had on Scale Up Radio, but in many respects he's just like all of the others. But he has so much passion and enthusiasm. He's got a lot of vision for the future, but he is focusing his energy right now and his skills right now in the present in helping customers and people in the community to get through the coronavirus crisis. He really is a very inspirational person. So let's go across to hear from Wasim for the rest of his story. So, Waz Draoui, welcome to Scale Up Radio.
Bonjour, Kevin. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you for the offer.
Well, you're most welcome. I'm really looking forward. I'm really excited to chat to you about what you're doing. So, tell me about Waz's Bistro.
Okay, Waz's Bistro is my baby. This is a bistro that we have created in April 2019 in Bromsgrove. It's a different concept, a different approach with the guests and with the quality of the food. Basically, the main idea was based on the Mediterranean fresh and sexy food. We use mainly premium quality ingredients, bringing a bit of fine dining with something to eat in the plate. We got specific beer. It's Nika Brak. The decoration is done with nothing. It's like my artist side thing. Using anything to make it look gurky and cozy.
Okay, so you've got a real Mediterranean feel to the restaurant.
That's it. It's like, a holiday atmosphere where you can travel into in the Mediterranean with no passport needed. You're gonna travel basically with the atmosphere, the decor, and what we are offering our guests, like this.
And I think you've had some tremendous success on TripAdvisor recently, haven't you? So, what do you think is the secret behind your success?
The success come first of all by dreaming big. If you dream big, you're gonna have success at the end. In the middle, you need like to work hard. We've been working hard to provide the best to our guests. We are doing guest service, mainly in UK. All the catering businesses that are doing customer service, we are doing just the opposite. We got first visit as a guest, the second visit as a friend, and the third visit as a member. And
right, okay.
The guest he become a member of something. It's an adventure, and then we make the guest feeling that welcome. We receive the guests as we want to be received somewhere else. In UK, they are not focused on that side of things. And then if you receive correctly your guest and you offer him a good quality, sexy food with fresh ingredients, that's it. You got all the necessary ingredients to make a beautiful cocktail. And then after, using the social media, our guests, they feel that they are in the obligation to make this business successful because we are just different. And then when you got your staff and you got your guests involved in an adventure and they are looking to bring it up, that's it. The job is done, and the returns, as you can see on TripAdvisor, we are not pushing our guests to write reviews. They feel themselves in the obligation to share the experience. That this experience is unique, and this is, I think, the main point of Oasis Bistro. It's a combination between the food and the crew member standard.
I love that idea of coming first as a guest, then as a friend, and then as a member. So, what do you mean by as a member? How do you get that to happen?
It's a member. It means like it's a step above a member of a dream, a member of a challenge.
And what is that? What is that challenge? What is that dream?
The challenge is to be the number one. The challenge is explaining that people need to join the fresh food revolution. It's a revolution in you are in or you are out. And then when the guests, they feel themselves treated nicely, with a high standard, and they are eating a good, healthy, and a good premium quality dishes, that's it. They are a part of a dream. And they're going to ask themselves, how it's come that I've been eating it somewhere else? And nobody, treat me correctly, or we got a bad experience in the service, or we got a bad experience with the food. We've been trying to avoid all these matters and make the visit unique. And then the guests, they're going to be in the obligation to share that experience. And then it's where we are I think better than the others because we know how we act with our guests.
Brilliant. And I think you've had some of this success in terms of the really high TripAdvisor ratings since the lockdown. So how have you reacted to how's it impacted you, and what sort of things are you doing?
Really, all the catering businesses are suffering. I think about all of them. Even we are in competition, but we are doing the same, and we are trying to survive. The main reason, I think, to fight is the desire. If you don't have a desire to exist, you can't exist. And then, from the beginning, I've been fighting as a skinned chef artist to show my work.
As a what chef artist?
skinned chef artist.
Okay.
Well, the artists that are skinned.
Oh, I see. Not a skin artist, but a skin artist.
and then I've been like looking to transport my guests in my ward, and then think that's really important. Other places they don't do that, but we got the desire, and
so you got the desire. Yeah,
we've been fighting, since Thursday that we've been opening. We got a bad month last year in July where we've been under obligation to close down, and I took the situation as like benefit in the way that the community being really supportive with us, because we are doing things for the community, and the community in Bromsgrove, they are giving to us back. And then we got all the community, they've been really supportive, and they've been really helpful, and especially Alan is a good friend that he has done loads to go to the process and the courts and stuff, be back. It's why, I think that I'm a phoenix. I rise up from the fire. And then I think that this situation of pandemic, lockdown, haven't changed, because we've been experiencing that 1 year ago where we've been closed down. And then from a bad situation, we've been trying to make it positive. In a way, we use that to rise up, like the phoenix. And then we start keep trading. We have done a specific menu for £7.50 for the audience people. They are isolated, and we have asked the help for the community to have volunteers, drivers, and we get the community in our project. And we have tried to keep alive the name of the bistro. And I think this is the main point that we keep fighting. The Dutch culture love fighting. And when they see someone like me, like he's trying to survive, struggling, but he's trying, then they come to support you in a way or another. And by buying from me a wrap or pizza, they're acting more than supporting you with words. They're acting to keep this place open.
Yeah.
And this is what we are living right now. All the community that are around, and are trying to keep us trading. It's hard. We are not making any profits, but the big profit, I think, is the love of the community. We are more human than the other businesses, where they see the customer as we do guests, but they see the customer as a quid walking. We don't see that. We see more the human being. We know the names of our guests. We are more family atmosphere and friendly. And then I think that's why they are supportive today.
Fantastic. So you built that real community of people around a shared passion for what you want to achieve with the fresh food, and you've got everybody actively involved in helping you to win the fight. Actually, you've brought a challenge to them, a fight, and they're all helping you to do that.
Indeed, and they want to be a part of that dream who become true, and they want to be a part of this beautiful and wonderful adventure. They are part of it, and when they are part of this adventure, they're going to make it successful. And I think if you have the support and you have a kind of community around you trying to push you up, you can't be only successful. And the success is not having the money. The success is giving memories and giving good memories, good experience to the guests or members.
I love that. Love that. Giving memories. Not just a meal, but you're making memories for people. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we are more than a bistro. We are more than a bistro. We give lessons for the young kids in French, in Italian, in Spanish. They make cooking classes with me where I explain to the next generation how you do a burger with a proper meat. I explain to them, and they are like, "Wow, what's going on? This is not like a prepared food from other places that I don't mention." And you explain to them that this is the real beef, and they play with the ingredients. And I can see in the eyes of the kids, like, "Wow, what's going on? This is really the proper food."
Wow.
And giving that touch shows that we are more involved in the community. We are teaching even the next generation how to eat, because the future is with these kids, and we need to teach them how to be in good health, how you can be able to eat a proper food. It's not like, pre-prepared. It's not like this real food that you should eat. The message, and we got the parents. They love that. I mean, we make like groups where people they can come from Bromsgrove to speak only in French around the croissant and the cafe. We got groups that they come to speak in Spanish. We got the visit from of the Consul of France. He's like, he's the French Republic representative in Midlands. I mean, he come to visit our place because we've been giving French lessons. We've been working with the community for the twinnings between Bromsgrove and another town in France. I mean, the other places that are not doing that. Definitely, they are not doing that. You go somewhere else, you get in. If you get hello and you've been welcomed and greeted, this is already like, a miracle. You sit, you eat, and that's it. You pay and you leave. In our bistro, it's different. You come, it's like, a community, people together with a holiday feeling, where people, they talk together. You got tables, like you got different guests in the bistro, and they talk together. You can see only that scene in the holiday resort. People that are really relaxed, that are like, "Wow, I'm here to enjoy. I can talk with the next table guys." This is what's happening in holidays. This is what we got in our bistro.
Sounds absolutely wonderful. So how are you keeping some of those things going, given that you can't now have people coming into the bistro and sitting down at the tables?
If we receive our guests or our members or our fans in a good way, and we receive them like we want to be received somewhere else, and we give them creative signature menu with the nice dishes well presented, where we are opting to buy the most expensive ingredients. We are not buying the cheapest one. And then you got that combination. Then they are received well, they are treated nicely, they got what they are expecting in the food quality. And the last thing is the bill. When they see the bill and they see that we got normal prices, a lobster of 500 grams at Oasis Bistro is £29. I mean, you can eat 500 grams lobster, a whole lobster, for 29 quid. And then you got the quality, you got the rapport between money-wise and quality and the service, and then you got all the ingredients.
Yes, I see that, and it does. It sounds absolutely amazing. I'm interested. I know you've obviously had to adapt the way that you're doing things now as part of the lockdown.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now to enable people to still get that experience?
To get this experience now, we are like managing to have every weekend we got a different menu, and then you can keep people away from that monotony or all is sad. we are going through sad times, and we need to make it more nicer. We need to stick together. We need to be together. We need to fight together to go through all the pandemic situation and lockdown. And then we are offering happiness in small amounts. We are selling happiness. We are not just selling food. And then when we have started doing like our quarantine Sunday roast,
Okay.
it's a sign. It's just like to say to the community, you know what? You can fight this lockdown. You can fight this pandemic situation. You can keep your routine. You can have the control for 1 hour to decide what you're going to eat. And then you're going to eat your Sunday roast like all the Sundays before. That's it. I can have the hand on it. I can say, I am in control. I'm in charge for 1 hour. And I'm going to keep my routines. And we keep fighting together. And this is the quarantine menu that we have created, for example, for Sunday. It's a massive, big Yorkshire pudding with a proper slow cooked quality premium quality lamb with Mediterranean veg and a bit of gravy. It means the Sunday roast come with a Mediterranean veg. Nobody have done it before, and with that bit of sunshine and in the books, we are making our people happy, and they are more positive to go through what we are living actually.
Very good. And we were talking before, weren't we, about you've got some plans to help people to be able to have some of that experience in their own homes and actually guide them through with ingredients and recipes and things, weren't you, as well?
Yeah, I think that we got a mission. We chefs, or proper chefs. I mean,
yeah.
Microwave chefs, we have plenty. And even back in the time when I've been struggling to find jobs, I've been refused many jobs, as I've been like better than the others. And when you go a microwave chef who's gonna judge you, like give you something, it's a bit harmful. And then I think that the proper chefs, they are under obligation to change our lives in offering fresh food. We need to have fresh food more. This is why we've been doing these lessons with the youngest.
Yeah.
And then from there, we need to expand that to people in general. And I think that with the after pandemic situation, the market will change, and we are ready for that changement because we got that capacity to adapt ourselves. I think better than the others. I think that the main business here going to be online with this lockdown situation. It's going to make it bigger markets, and then if we can send our premium quality ingredients with the receipt done by the chef, I think that's really fantastic. People can cook like chef was at home. There is other guys, they got this idea before. Fair play to them because they have done a big, massive. I think that we are more legitimate as we have our bistro on the high street in perform there. Personally, as a chef, I've been performing too, and we got that legitimacy as we are trading already from a restaurant, and we have done a good results as shown on TripAdvisor, not in the bank account, by the way.
Yeah.
But we still believe, and this is like the main point that we got desire for fixes. What I've been saying, and then if we can bring that sunshine in the box in the step door, it's gonna be lovely.
So we're talking here about having a something that somebody can order online that will come to them, delivered to their home with fresh ingredients, but with the recipe there and instructions and everything as to how to cook your own special experience and have your Mediterranean experience at home? Is that
as a chef, and then it's gonna be like something to do with the family, with the partner, with the girlfriend. It's they're gonna share a moment together to have a bistro quality and high standard quality food. But in the meantime, it's gonna be like nice for people. They can be two, one, or maybe like a large family. They get a box when they can make dinner together following the receipt, and they're gonna enjoy the result of what they've been cooking by themselves. I mean, this is like I think great. Gonna make people stay together. People they're gonna have memories doing that with the kids, with the partners, etc., etc. And we're gonna, especially with that deliveries, we can teach the next generation. This is the main point. The next generation needs to eat healthy.
So you you mentioned that other people have maybe done this a little bit before, because there are companies like Gusto, aren't there, and whatever. So what do you think separates what you're doing from them?
I think that it's a big market. I'm not mentioning any name of companies, but the main point was, as chef was, he gonna send recipe done by chef was. It's
right.
not like you are in a warehouse and you got like a package that have been sent by I don't know who.
Yes.
Are more legitimate to adapt our business right now for 2020 and the future more than the others that are trading, and we don't know who is the chef who is doing that. Yeah. We have built Waz's Bistro around Waz, and then you can come to Waz's, but Waz's can come to yours. I think this is like a really important side of story, and the market is big. And I think that even in Midlands, if we start only with Midlands, there is no one who is providing that kind of service.
Mm-hmm.
And people that are waiting for that. We got like this idea, as we have many friends, members, and guests, they've been asking for that. And
yeah, I think it's great, and I think it's a great example of how you can't, because of the current circumstances, you can't carry on as normal. You're trying to really create this whole memories, this dining experience, and you've looked at ways and you've come up with a way that you can deliver some of that experience. It may not be exactly the same, but you can deliver that same experience to people's homes. You haven't just said, well, we've got to shut up shop or just simply do deliveries. We're actually going to do something that really fits to our mission of trying to help people to create memories and to use fresh food and understand more about food.
Indeed, and people are like they fed up with the takeaways. People they get bored with Italian food, Chinese food, Thailandese food, McDonald's, this and that. This is like routine where you are living in the matrix and you are doing like the others. Waz's Bistro, it's a signature menu.
Yeah.
Our menu is created by Chef. It's not something that we've been in Google to look on it and just like putting that in a piece of paper. This is like a really a fusion between different cuisines. We're gonna use like an ingredient from Morocco, another ingredient from Italy, another spices from Tunisia, and then we create something unique. This is what we are doing now in Waz's Bistro. We are not doing like the others. And people that they want to be slaves of themselves and be like, working like robots and living in this matrix. They have totally the right to do it. Our guests, our members, there are people that are saying, yeah, you know what, I'm different. And if you are different, you start to show that you are different by eating different, by acting different. And then if people, they want to be in the matrix, it's them choices. You can eat McDonald's all day long or pizza all day long. It's not a problem for us. But we are different. We want something healthy. We want a sexy food with a good quality ingredients. We don't want to eat things that they can be nefast for our health in the future. This is, I think, like, a really important point.
Mm. So what got you into being a chef in the first place?
Okay, but I've been asking this question like before. Um, uh, I start being chef when I've been a student at the university, where when you open your fridge, you got more liquid than solid. And,
Yeah.
and when you go like one onion to tomatoes and like, different like ingredients like that, and I start looking to make a nice dish with what I got with really the minimum ingredients, and start changing and making like, testing things. And from there, I start, I think, creating. Having a background when I've been like young, I've been living in the seaside in Tunisia. Um, I mean, you got that fresh food. You got really fresh fish. If you give it a kid now, a fresh fish, he doesn't even know how to eat it. I mean, I grow up in that conditions where you eat only fish, and then from there I start like, I'm not a trained chef at school, or I had been having courses, but I've been like, in touch with old chefs in France back in the time, where I've been volunteer just to learn from them. And I have built like, I have built my knowledge like that by trying to learn. I'm like sponge. I learn all the time. I'd like to learn, and I adapt. And I think that chefs need to adapt them.
Mm.
Why? When you have mentioned the success with the coronavirus pandemic situation, I think that this is the success of adaptation. When you adapt your people, they still stick, and they are like solid rock, and they don't move.
Yeah.
Especially chefs, we
Yeah.
need to adapt ourselves, and this is what we are doing.
I think that's absolutely right. And we talk a little bit about it with some of the clients we work with about, if you're climbing a mountain, the worst thing you can do is freeze on the mountain. You've got to
That's
keep,
it.
you may go up, you may go down, you may go sideways, but you don't freeze. So, and it's the same in business at the minute. We've got to do something, and you're adapting in some great ways. So what brought you to Bromsgrove of all places?
I've been living in Bromsgrove 3 years ago. Uh, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is what I say to my guests when they ask me this question.
Mm.
3 years ago, I've been living in Bromsgrove, and I've been like struggling to find a job. Been refusing jobs over the place. It's not a revenge. I'd like to say that I have opened in Bromsgrove. And the job center 3 years ago, I met someone who had been owning a big place. And by the way, in Bromsgrove or Birmingham, all the chefs or restaurant owners, mainly 80% of them, they know me personally, and they know that I'm a character.
Right.
And then there is a guy, he refused me a job. He'd been owning a place in Bromsgrove. And I said, you know what, one day, mate, I'm going to open my place. You talk like you own the world. I'm a prince with no kingdom, but I'm going to have my kingdom back. And one day I'm going to be back here, and they're going to open. And the guy, he said that he'd like to take the bet.
Right.
3 years later, I've been watching his place in his presence, trying to buy his restaurant. And I said to the guy, you remember? And he said, yeah. I said, if I take your place, they're going to call it karma. This is what I say to my guests because they want drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, and this is the truth, by the way.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And when I see this shop is like being abandoned. It's like in bad, really, really bad condition. When I see it, I see what I've been able to do. This is my artist side. All the people, all my friends, families, partner, um, they have said now, don't take this shop. It's really like that situation. And I've, I've been watching what we are doing now. And this is the artist eye. Um, and that's it. I think it was by accident to be in Bromsgrove.
Okay.
And accidents are nice in many ways. And with our concept, if we are really successful, 100% in Bromsgrove, we can open the moon on a different planet if they are looking for decent food. I mean, the Bromsgrove market is really, really hard. And as a foreign, who comes in the middle of all that, and it's a big challenge. If we are successful in Bromsgrove, we can sell our food in the moon. If the aliens want it, I mean, Bromsgrove, it's really hard, really tough market.
So what is your dream? Where are you trying to get to? Whereas what would success look like for you in 10 or 15 years time?
In 15 years time, I don't think about 15 years time, to be fair. People, they think for 15 years time. They think to have a big house. They think to have a big car. They think what I'd like to achieve is leaving my fingerprint in the history, saying that I have done something when all the people they've been against me, when all the people they haven't believed in my dreams, when all the people they have said, you know what, you can't do it. And I think this is a challenge. This is a fight. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter in the way that even you try, like, they have tried to kill my business. I rise up and I'm more stronger. That's why with the coronavirus, it's like the tsunami wave. I told you that yesterday. And so all the people that are escaping are going to run the opposite direction with my surfboard to ride. I love the challenges. I love when people, they say, you can. Impossible is not French. All is possible. This is what we have done with not a penny from the banks. Nobody believes in us. And today we are here to say we are the first best Mediterranean restaurant in Bromsgrove. We are second best seafood restaurant in Worcestershire. We are number 4 best restaurant in Bromsgrove. But guys, remember 11 months ago when I have started in the 139th position on TripAdvisor, nobody believes in me. But I keep working and working hard and proving to myself, not to the others, that we can do it. And we come from so far, and every day it's been a success for us because every day we have survived it. We have survived it, and today we have done what we have done because nobody believes on us. But I've been believing on myself that I can achieve. And then today I can say, you know what? You haven't believed on me, but in the meantime, I've been working that hard. And the hard work brings you the result and the desire. Because my desire was to be successful. And then the success is making our place bigger, go to other bigger premises, open in other places. I've been approached by guys in the United States, other guys from Singapore, And all that it's been done because of the reviews in TripAdvisor. Unbelievable that you got guys, they're going to contact you from Sweden to say that you are doing an amazing job. And you remember that 1 year ago, all the people they've been laughing at what he's doing, he will never be able to do it. And then because of these guys, and because of all the people they refuse me jobs for £7.50 per hour years ago, thank you guys, because where I am now, it's because of you. And I thank you really so much for refusing me jobs for £7.50 per hour. And you push me to create my own wishes and knowing what I love to do. It's like working for myself. You refuse me a job, I'm not going to beg for jobs. I'm going to create the job. And we have created 4 full-time jobs in the bistro, and we got like 4 part-times. I mean, we create our.
Excellent. No, really, really inspirational. And you mentioned you'd like to leave your fingerprint on history. What would you like people to be saying about Waz?
I'd like that people are going to say, this is a truthful person, a human being focused, not like, money person. I've never been a money person, and I will be never. Our way of life, how we are living, we need to support each other. My fingerprint is, you see, Waz he have done something when all the people have said, you can do it. Be like Waz and fight for yourself and follow your dreams and fight and work too hard to achieve, not for any revenge, but just to show yourself when all the people they say no, you can say yes, and you can do it. Every single person need to follow their dreams and work on it, and to make the life nicer. If you don't have a fight in your life, you have no reason. You need to find a reason. You need to find something to do. It can be in the charity help. It can be like, helping the oldest people. We need to be like, more following our dreams.
And
so
find your fight.
That's it. And follow your dreams. You need to dream big, big, big. All is possible, guys. All is possible.
Really good. So I normally ask people I interview, if you go back to your younger self, what would your advice be? Well, I think you've just answered that question without me answering the question. so that's really good. You're obviously a really inspirational person, and you mentioned that you drew strength from people that turned you down. But has there been anybody that you would say had had the most influence on you? Who's had the most influence on you in your life, do you think?
Myself.
Yourself, okay. Yep.
This is family, kids, and this is what I told you when the society say you can do it, but and you know your capacities. You say, yeah, you know what, man, I will be like them, or I can be different.
Yeah.
I have choosing to be different. Years ago, I've been in you make me think now. I've been in a job interview in Birmingham. I've been received, and after the question, I think, and who is your hero was? I said, what do you mean? He said, yeah, tell me, Batman, Superman. I said, I don't have a hero. I'm a hero. I'm fighting for my kids. I'm fighting to survive. I'm looking for a job. I woke up in the early hours, like, to go to work, making 12-hour shifts. I'm a hero. He said, no, but I'd like to have, like, a personage that you like. And I got my keys in front of me, and you got, like, a small picture of Che Guevara. And I show him the picture and say, this is my hero. And he said, who is that guy? And I said, then if you are there asking me questions, you don't know Che Guevara, I mean, like, I can't talk with you anymore. And this is a personage that I like in my life. A guy who have given his life for the others. I'm like that. A guy who have believed in a better future for his people that guy that he had fighted, and this is all me. And even in my logo, you see the logo, you got my face and in the logo. It's not to be arrogant, but there is a meaning in that logo. That he represents General Hannibal that he's been fighting Rome 3,000 years ago, and then it was like in Carthago, in Carthage, the actual Tunisia, North Africa and Tunisia, and these guys have been fighting Rome with nothing, and he have walked from Tunisia to the actual Italy, crossing the Alps with the elephants. It's unbelievable. People, they still study the techniques of this guy nowadays, how he have achieved that. It's a long way, but the guy, he have done it. And from the day one, when I put my logo with my face, I know it, that we can do it. We can do it because we believe that we can do it.
Brilliant. Good. Really enjoyed talking with you today, Waz. I'm definitely going to check out your menu and the options that you've got for me to experience your dining experience and create some memories. But if somebody else would like to get hold of you, find out more about Waz's Bistro, what's the best way for them to do that?
Social media, Facebook, Instagram. This is where we are performing. This is where people can check on what we are doing. We keep changing our offers, we keep changing our menu. And I think that social media, you can have more than on the website.
Brilliant. It's been fantastic talking with you, Waz. Thank you very much.
It was a really a nice chat with you. I felt myself that I've been with with someone to talk like a therapy. It was a
therapy session. Yeah, very good. Well, no, I've very much enjoyed it, and I think you sound like a really inspirational person. I love the way that you're creating that whole experience. The idea of the language lessons as well, and the teaching the children how to cook and handle the food. I think all of that is just fantastic. And if you can find a way to, as you're doing, to adapt your model to continue to provide some of those things whilst we're in lockdown and beyond, then I wish you all the success in the world.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, really, about this idea. We'd like to have people joining the dream, the challenge. I mean, we can do it by ourselves, as I told you before, that we got no bank support. And by the way, even in the pandemic situation now, the banks are not really reacting. And you're going to see, sadly, many businesses close down. And this is what we want. We need to keep our high streets alive. We need to keep them alive. We need to give more opportunity for the youngest as well to create. The banks and the whole system need to see and review the position. We need to give to the youngest guys the opportunity to open business, the small businesses that are making the riches in the community. And when we see the banks supporting big companies, a shame as the big companies that are not providing a service to the community, and they are not giving anything to the community. They are not even paying taxes in the UK. I think that it's time now that the banks get a bit of pressure from the government to adapt and give more. You can't receive only, you need to give a bit for the others. We need to maintain our high streets alive, guys. I mean, like, we are going in a situation where there's nothing. People, they can't access to the shops. They can't rent even shops that they are really, really, really expensive. I mean, the consuls, they need to do something. We got plenty of empty shops in the high streets that they can be trading. We need to open these shops. We need to keep our high streets alive.
Don't forget to take a look at www.bizsmarts.co.uk to access a great range of resources to help you in your scale-up journey. So that's bizsmarts.co.uk, which is bizsmarts.co.uk.